DAZN. With content available in more than 200 countries, the online sports streaming platform boasts over 20 million global subscribers and is considered to be Europe's largest digital sports broadcaster. From soccer to boxing to action sports, baseball, basketball, and even NFL football, the company's original mission statement was to be considered the Netflix of sport. It sounds like it would be a no-brainer for major sports fans everywhere to simply subscribe to DAZN and start enjoying a wide variety of live and on-demand content. A quick search online will reveal an atrocious average consumer rating and various social media accounts dedicated to the demise of the company. Why does DAZN continue to receive scathing, rage-filled reviews after nearly 10 years of being in service, losing billions of dollars in the process? And how are they even still in operation despite all the financial turmoil and such a negative public opinion? Let's find out. First on the list of reasons why DAZN is widely hated by most sports fans: broken promises. The DAZN streaming platform, primarily owned and financed by multi-billionaire Len Blavatnik's Access Industries, began with a huge investment and officially went live in August of 2016. It began by streaming sports like Japanese J-League football and women's tennis. Within a year, the company had acquired streaming rights to the NFL in Canada. The new platform quickly continued its expansion into the late 2010s when it entered the boxing game, at a time when what had up till then been the sport's biggest broadcaster, HBO, had begun throwing in the towel on the very sport that helped put them on the map. Deals were struck with promotions like Matchroom and Golden Boy, and exclusive multi-fight deals with two of the sport's biggest draws at the time, Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, Gennady Golovkin, were made. This is where some of the company's most costly mistakes began. DAZN began hurling outrageous sums of money to fighters in hopes to get them to sign exclusive deals with the platform. They had also begun advertising to boxing fans worldwide that the platform would be the new home of boxing and vowed to kill the pay-per-view model, offering fans regular fights for just $9.99 a month in the US. It sounded too good to be true, because it was. Many boxing fans took them up on that offer, only to become frustrated by a lack of worthy matchups and an array of technical issues. More on that in a minute. But what really caused an uproar was what many would consider to be a bait-and-switch approach to gaining subscribers, whether intentional or not. Just a few years after promising to change the sport forever, forcing other broadcasters and promoters to change their evil pay-per-view ways, DAZN began hosting pay-per-view boxing events, charging $85 for a long overdue fight between a prime Canelo Alvarez and a 40-year-old Triple G, for example. On top of going back on their word with pay-per-views, they also have raised prices substantially. Currently, a monthly subscription costs $29.99 or $19.99 with a one-year contract. That's $240 a year plus the cost of pay-per-view events for fans who are willing to pay. Next up, poor quality and production. If there's one thing DAZN is well known for outside of breaking big promises, it's technical issues and poor streaming quality. From the beginning, the platform has been plagued with issues such as low resolution, freezing, frequent buffering, forward and back navigation crashing, and events cutting out entirely mid-stream. Although there have been improvements, they've been slow to come and many problems still persist, despite constant complaints from consumers who have decided the $20 per month fee is worth paying and simply just want to watch their favorite sports without technical interruption. A prime example would be the extreme frustration endured by sports fans globally who have purchased the NFL Game Pass in hopes to tune in to American football, only to be met with a myriad of technical issues, rendering streams unwatchable for many. When customers look to DAZN for troubleshooting, they're met with difficulty finding an actual person to help them with the problem. Which leads me to the next big reason why DAZN is hated by so many: poor customer support. The fact that the company has broken promises, been accused of misleading or deceptive advertising practices, and after about a decade in service is still full of technical problems sends a bad message to subscribers or would-be subscribers. Nothing says, "We just don't care," like poor customer service. Consumers of the platform continue to complain of difficulties like canceling subscriptions, being fooled into contracts, trouble receiving refunds, and even unknowingly having subscriptions reinstated after canceling. And when they try to resolve the problems, they're met with a severe lack of customer service. DAZN currently has an average Trustpilot score of 1.3 out of 5 stars, with more than 5,000 reviews. And they currently have an F rating with the Better Business Bureau for failure to respond to hundreds of complaints and by simply not resolving others. It would be understandable for a new company with a service that had recently launched and simply needed to work out the bugs and set up proper infrastructure that made customers feel valued. But this has yet to happen nearly 10 years since the service went live. So how does a company with such a terrible track record continue to exist? Money, and lots of it. From its inception, DAZN has been primarily bankrolled by Ukrainian-born multi-billionaire Len Blavatnik, whose company Access Industries boasts a portfolio worth more than $35 billion, spanning media, entertainment, and real estate. DAZN also recently sold a minority share of the company to Saudi Arabia's Surge Sports, who made a $1 billion investment despite the company's continual financial losses. While DAZN's gross revenues continue to rise, the streaming platform continues to record net losses. $1.4 billion was lost for its fiscal year 2023. It lost $1.2 billion in 2022, $2.3 billion in 2021, and $1.3 billion in 2020. Still, the company presses on, now with the mission statement of becoming the Spotify of sports, probably because Netflix is now a market competitor. The company has said they're expecting more than $6 billion in gross revenue in 2025, driven in part by additional income to be generated by a reported $1 billion deal for the rights to the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup and from its $2.2 billion purchase of Australian pay-TV giant Foxtel. DAZN reportedly lined up a $1.1 billion loan to finance the purchase of Foxtel, according to Bloomberg, and Access Industries founder Len Blavatnik has recently pumped another $827 million into the company, bringing his total investment to over $6 billion. Securing sports rights is extremely expensive. Despite that, DAZN executives remain committed to paying for them in an attempt to someday become the dominant force in the burgeoning world of streaming sports content, if only they decide to show the same level of commitment to providing a high-quality, high-value streaming service and toward caring about their customers and potential customers. Anything's possible.